What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Virtuals Protocol. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. This video comes to us at the request of, it's like Farah something. It's not Farah Fawcett. It's Farah or Farah Faro. I didn't write your name down, but I know it's something Farah something with another F afterwards. Hit the like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Farah, we're doing this for you. I first heard about Virtuals Protocol when Ivan on Tech talked about it. This guy talked about it back here. This thing, a lot of people say this bull market's been boring, but I often say you're just not looking in the right place, right? From a low to an overall high, this thing did a 258x. Even from the high of that consolidation range, it did a 76x, right? Is this bull market boring, or are you just looking at the wrong projects, or you're in the wrong things? You know what I mean? I wish I was in this thing. I didn't get into it, but we did talk about it. I forget when. I think it was back sometime over here. I've been aware of it since then, but I never invested in it, right? I normally only invest in projects that are on exchanges, not that are decentralized projects, because there's more inherent risk with that. But hey, man, that inherent risk adds to the reward. You get exchange buying pressure, and boom, you blow up, right? Overall, Virtuals, you've dropped about, from a high to a low, you've dropped about 90%, almost 90%. My thought would be you're at 89.9%. I can't think of a single moment where something's gotten so close to 90% that it doesn't complete that. So I do think that you do go to a 90% drop. I think that you do see prices somewhere around here, probably at about 51 cents, just below 51 cents. You're at 59 cents now, and maybe even lower still. You could go. I mean, who's to say that it has to stop right at 90% of a drop? You could drop 94%. I don't think that you go down this low. I don't think that you drop all the way down to 30 cents, but it's possible. I am expecting a 20 to 30% drop across the board. So let's just see what that would do. A 20 to 30% drop here would take us to about, anything from about 48 cents to about 41 and a half cents, something in that area. And that would make a lot of sense to me. If we look at this on a daily time frame, if we look at it here, maybe a 4-hour time frame. I forget what I was doing. Let's see. Hold on, you guys. Hold on. If we take this low to a high, let's see. Nope, that's not the high. There we go. That's not the low. There we go. You're finding resistance at your 2272 right here, and likely you will continue. And you even found support at your 2618, 2618 to 2272. When you go lower, you oftentimes find support in the orange zone, the money zone, as I like to call it, and that's between 45 cents to 49 cents. That to me makes sense. That provides an overall 90% drop, a little bit more than a 90% drop. If we zoom out, we look at this thing for what it's worth. We keep going back. We keep zooming out. You'd also be finding support at prior areas of resistance here, right? This is where your orange zone is. It's like literally right in these areas of resistance. And if you go lower, it's fine. But I don't expect this thing to drop more. It's already dropped 90% basically overall. I don't expect it to drop more than 20 to 30%, right? I'm expecting the average coin drops 20 to 30%. Right in the middle of that would be something around like a 45 cent, 49 cent price, right? If we look at this thing for what it's worth on an overall time frame, right, from the low that it had here, its all-time low, to its all-time high, you have pulled back to your 382, and this is very, very common with your first interaction on the 382. First off, it's very common in bullish moves, and I would say an overall 200x is a pretty damn bullish move in a few months' time there. From September to December, you literally pulled over a 180x or something like that. Maybe September to January, but still phenomenal growth in a short amount of time. Oftentimes, the strong moves, you do find support at the 382 specifically, or around that area, right? That's oftentimes what you do. It wouldn't surprise me at all if we did close this week over the next 4 days and 7 hours. If we close this week green, we might, and I would expect that we have our resolution, the low of this move is achieved sometime in the next 4 days. I do expect it to happen sometime soon. But what you don't want to see is a close below the 382. Oftentimes, if you tear through the 382 and you close below it, that implicates that you'd go down to your 0.5, which, hey, maybe you do. Maybe you go to your 0.5, or even more often than that, the golden ratio, which is at your prior areas of resistance here. That would provide a dramatic drop. Yes, you've dropped 89% overall, but that kind of drop would promote another 80% drop, right? You don't want to see that. So to avoid that, you want to close this week green. Now, there is a silver lining, or there is hope if you do close the week below the 382. If you close it below, what we would need to see then is immediately next week you need to invalidate it. You need to close above it, okay? If you don't close above it this week, you need to close above it next week. Sometimes, it's less common, but sometimes you do close below, and then the following week you just eat it up and you close right back above it with a bullish candle. That can happen. So it's not all hope is not gone if you close below here, but it really puts you in a crunch time kind of mode. So hopefully you can avoid all that. Close above 61.5 cents this week. That would be nice, or 61.422. And still, by the end of this week, I am expecting you go lower than this low and then come back up to where you are and above that. If not, then hopefully by next week you will close higher. I am expecting that the whole crypto space will drop 20 to 30% over the coming days. And then end of this week, going into next week, we're going to start to recover. The end of March, April, May is going to be phenomenal for crypto all over the place. And I think virtuals will have a very phenomenal time in itself. Virtuals is worth $382 million in market cap valuation right now, about 382. If this thing were to do a 100x, which is possible, it could do 100x. 100x would be a $38 billion market cap. That's not a small order at all. It's not given to anybody, but it's a very attainable market cap. You can see a $38 billion market cap from a coin that's at number 123 in the market cap rankings. You absolutely can. And you could even see higher than that. You could see double that. Is this thing a 100xable coin? I would raise the stakes and say it's actually a 200xable coin. Does that mean that it will do a 100x? No. Does that mean it'll do a 200x? No. But it could. It could. It has that feasibility. I definitely think that it does. Again, shout out to Ivan on Tech for putting this on my radar and therefore probably putting it on a lot of people's radar, even back here, man, before it did this phenomenal growth. I think this project does have a lot of potential. I don't know everything about it fundamentally. I haven't actually read the white paper, but I've looked into it before. I remember liking it. I haven't invested in it, so I haven't then needed the necessity, have had the necessity to look into it. I think anytime you invest in something, you should read the white paper all the way through. Even if you don't understand some parts of it, you should just try and understand it as much as you can. Definitely get the tokenomics and stuff. But all that to say, I think that we're at a good area to buy. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I think that if you wait a couple days, maybe even just a day itself, but if you wait a little bit of time, you'll probably have the opportunity to buy at prices that are something on the lines of, at the very least, something that's like 12% lower. At the most, it could be 40% lower. I don't think so. Or maybe somewhere right in between 20 and 30%, which would be, just around 45 cents, something like that. But I do think that if you wait for a day or two, you'll have better opportunities to buy. If you had no exposure to this thing, and this isn't financial advice, I'm just giving you my opinion. If I was looking at this and I'm like, I want to buy, we're very close to the low, maybe I should just buy here anyways and say, screw it, go for it. There's nothing wrong with that. If you can eat a 20% loss and just rest on that and then endure the gains that are to come, that's phenomenal. Because when you get a 90% drop, you guys, why that's good is because whenever you go back to your all-time high area, you get a 10x just to get to your all-time highs, let alone if you go through it. I would think something like this, finding support here, and with the crypto markets picking up, I would think that you don't stop at your all-time highs. I would think you continue past them, and maybe you stop at them momentarily. Maybe you find some support there, and then you continue to rise. But inevitably, I do think virtuals is going to grow past its all-time highs, which again would be about a 10x from the lows. Which again, I think you're going to go even below this low, so you will have more than a 10x opportunity. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. If you just wait a day or two, high to low. Assuming that we go just a little bit lower, and you probably do go lower than this, I think you'll find support around 45 to 49 cents. I'm putting it right there at 50 cents. If you notice, as I pull this line down, these numbers here, they only get bigger as I pull it down, right? If I bring it up, it gets smaller. So this will make a conservative target here at 50 cents technically if we drop below 50 cents. The minimum target area would be $9.63, $21.54. You could even go beyond that. I actually think virtuals will see prices between $40 to $52 by the end of this cycle, if not $100 by the end of this cycle. I don't expect that it goes higher, and my minimum expectation would be $21.50 by the end of the cycle. You're at 59 cents now with the prospects to go below 50 cents. There's a lot of potential left in this thing. I think it's at a prime area to buy. Absolutely it is, but I also think if you wait, you'll have the more ideal moments to buy coming up. I've got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I got a new mic, but it's not working. This isn't the one. I got this one here. I'm gonna see. Watch. You see, I'm tapping that, but I didn't tap this one right. I'm gonna fix things, you guys. Anyways, I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.